Hello, I am Munir Haq and you are watching Android app development tutorial in Kotlin. And today our topic is Firebase Authentication, which basically means user login and sign up procedures in an app. Before starting our tutorial, I would like to show you what app we are going to build today. So this is our app. We can see 4 login options here: sign in with email, sign in with Facebook, sign in with phone, and sign in with Google. So first of all, I will select Google, sign in with Google, and here we see some options. So I will select this user, this Google account, and we logged in with the Google account, the name of the Google account, the email, and this time the provider is firebase google.com. So we log out and we will log in with sign in with Facebook, and yes, this is my this is my Facebook profile picture. This is my Facebook profile name, and this is the email ID linked with Facebook, and the provider is firebase-facebook.com. We log out, and we can log in with the phone number also, and here we give my phone number and verify phone number. Email will be sent, and the email verification code is automatically granted to here, and I am logged in with phone number, Firebase phone, and here is my phone number. I log out, and then I can log in, sign in with email, and give email address like okay, and I press next. I need to give a name, and I will provide a password. In this case my password is 12345667, and save. And this is my name, my email, and this time the provider, login provider is password, and we do log out. So these 4 options is working fine. Before jumping into the code, I will show you one interesting thing, that if I go here, this is our app, sample app, and we click here, and this is our project, my Firebase. This is our project, and if we go to the authentication section, we can see those users and those providers I just created and shown in the app. So enough talk, without no more talking, we will jump into the tutorial and let's build the app. So I have opened a project and add all those dependency for Firebase. If you don't know how to add Firebase to your project, please watch my previous tutorial where I have briefly explained how to add Firebase to your project. I have already done this, so I will directly go to add the authentication related dependencies here. So I will go to the dependency and the app build.gradle and add some dependency related to Firebase authentication. I already have written here, so I'll simply copy and paste it here. So I will little explain what are those dependencies are, This is Firebase UI-auth, which provides the UI for those login. So basically this this activity I haven't created it explicitly. It is created by Firebase UI-auth, and this is Firebase auth, which is the core of Firebase authentication, and this line I have added it for Facebook authentication, Actually, adding Facebook authentication in our project is really very complex, and if you really want it, you can add Facebook authentication. Otherwise, I actually don't like Facebook authentication because it really very complex, and sometimes it, for no reason, sometimes it make app crashes. So please carefully watch how to add Facebook authentication in my project. One more thing, we will enable data binding here. So data binding enabled, and okay, one more thing, we will go to the project level build.gradle, and here we will add Maven Central. And press the sync now. So while our project is syncing, enabled, a little mistake has been made. So I think I have made a mistake here. So data binding, I should add it outside the build script here, and try again, and this time I hopefully think it will work. So while the app syncing is going on, we will go to our console and do something that it is our that app in which app we are working here. This is the same app here. So we will go to the authentication, click authentication, and go to sign in method, and here we will enable the email password. Just enable here. We will not enable the email link, that is a different thing. And save, and we will also enable the phone, and save, and we will also enable the Google and save. Now you can give a email address here, project support email. So for this tutorial, for this account, I will give my email address here, and save, sorry, wrong. Okay, and we will go to the Facebook and enable Facebook. But enabling Facebook, for enabling Facebook we need to do some more tasks. So we will go to directly to developers.facebook.com, developers.facebook.com, and we'll go to my apps, and your developers.facebook.com may appear something different, but don't worry. Create an app and display name, I will give it a name like Firebase sample, and create app ID, and it's been created. Now we need to enable this Facebook login, add a product. This is a product, Facebook login. We need to set it up. Press setup, select Android, and here it's saying that download the Facebook SDK for Android. Don't do that, believe me, don't do that, and press next. And it is saying that implementation of, we already have done it in our app, in our Gradle file. We already have done it. And by the way, this is the dependency for showing circular image. so don't worry about it. And it is saying you don't need that, and press next. And it's been saying that tell us about your project, the package name. It is saying that what is your package name. So I will go to the manifest file and get the package name from here. And also it is asking for default activity class name. So default activity class name, we will again go to the manifest file, and we say that our default activity is main activity. How you can know what is the main what is the your default activity? Default activity is like we get the intent filter here, and it has been saying that our action is main, so main activity is our default activity. We copy it. Actually first we need to give the full specified path, so we need to copy the first project name, and then we will go to the main activity, right, press a dot and give it a name. So our package name dot main activity, this is our default activity class name. Press save, and it's saying that Google Play package name, just ignore it, use this package name, select use this package name. And this is the part where most of the beginners do the mistake. They will just believe in Facebook and do the mistake again and again. Don't do that, just follow my advice. So it is saying that we need to add a hash key, which one is release hash key and one is debug hash key. So in our project we will add debug key. So don't just follow their instruction. We have a different hack. Please carefully watch it, what we are doing. So to generate the hash key, we will do a different approach. We will go to the Android Studio, and this we will write one thing. I already have written it. So don't worry, you will get this code to video description. You can just copy it here from here and paste outside the onCreate method. And this is basically this generate AB key. It will generate the Facebook hash key for us, and we will only generate call this function once in the lifetime of this project. So please don't worry about it, and please don't bother much about it. Just copy it and run this project. So we will first remove those errors. So it is alt enter and alt enter log alt enter base 4 alt enter. I will take any of these, and now alt enter. Okay, so don't worry about this obsoleted or deprecated variables. So don't worry much about it, and I will call it from onCreate. So generate a B key and run. As it is showing that the key will come to the log, so press run. So as the application has been run, so we will go to the logcat and copy the key hash and give it a search, and we got the hash for our Facebook dependency. So we will copy it and we will simply paste it here and save and press continue. And we do not need to enable this, just press next. And we need to do some work here in values.strings XML. we will copy this code copied, and go back to our resource values strings, and copy it here. And watch carefully here. We normally the normal or the first timer or beginners do the mistake again. Just do one thing, just copy this Facebook app ID again and press it here and say Facebook application. Do this, don't say me why, don't ask me why, please do this, and it will save a lot of time from you will, otherwise you will get some runtime error, so please do this. Okay, and we need to do one more thing. We need to copy here, copy this thing. First we need to copy, yes, the user's permission. Let's copy and go back to Android Studio and open manifest file, and beneath the manifest tag add this permission. Again go back to developers.facebook.com and copy those thing, application ID and something like that. Just copy the entire thing in manifest file, beneath the activity, main activity, just paste it. Okay, and we are basically done. Press next, and we can omit those steps. We will copy the app ID here, just press and copy and go back to our Firebase, and in our Facebook here we will press the app ID, and we need one more thing, the app secret. For app secret we will go back to developers.facebook.com and go back to settings, these settings, not these settings, these settings, press here and press basic, and this is there is the app secret hidden, so we will press show. And to show this app secret you need to log in again to your Facebook account, and copy it and press it, paste it inside this text box, app secret, and finally save. So we are basically done in the Firebase console authentication. Here we enabled the email, password, phone, Google, and finally the Facebook. Okay, we will go back to our code. We will add an activity named login activity where all this login happened. Although the login UI will be provided by Firebase Auth UI, so we will go to Java and our package, and here we will create new, and it will be activity which will be empty activity, and name it login activity, and press finish. And the login activity will contain nothing. Okay, it contains nothing. Okay, now go back to your login activity.kt, and here we'll do certain things. First of all, we will initiate the login auth UI, Firebase Auth UI. So how can we do it? We first create a function, that is fun create login UI, and inside we will create the UI, and auth UI is actually builder class. So we will add those. We will first create those providers. While providers equals, make a array list of say auth UI dot idp config. idp config this is the Firebase UI auth UI idp config, which is there is a method for creating email builder, Facebook builder, Facebook login builder, and so on. So this idp config, and we will first create Google builder dot build this is a function, Google builder dot build, and auth UI. Another one is, okay, basically I will copy paste. And here I will use phone builder, and here this is Facebook builder, and lastly the email builder. Okay, and finally we will close it. Oh, as their function. Okay, so basically, okay, it is saying that you need to type, it is expecting a type. Okay, I will give a type auth UI dot idp config. Now what I will do, oh, this is a function, right? I will create a start activity. So if you don't know what is start activity for result, start activity for result, start activity result is same like starting in another activity, but it has a key, and it will expect a result from another activity. So we will start activity of auth UI, this auth UI, and we will expect something from returning from auth UI. So how can I do it? So I will write as auth UI. This is a builder type class, so auth UI, and we will get a get instance, and dot create sign-in intent builder dot set available providers, and it needs a parameter of available providers. This is all your available providers. I paste it here, and one more thing, we will also disable the smart lock because it is annoying. So set smart lock, set is smart lock enable, and we will also make it false, and we press build. Okay, and we need one more parameter. This is actually the activity, and we need one more parameter, which is basically a number. Okay, so for number we can do actually a thing, which is we will add companion object. By the way, if you don't know what is companion object, it is actually something similar like static keyword in Java, because Kotlin doesn't have the static variable concept. it is in Kotlin we call it companion object, simply call it companion object. So we will add a variable and it's private constant val and name it rc sign, just a constant variable, declaring a constant variable because we need to give some value when we start we do start activity for result. So and this is rc sign. So what you are doing, we are actually we will call a start activity for result. We are launching for an we are redirecting the control to the auth UI, and we also expecting some result from the auth UI get instance. Now we will get the result. We'll take the result. For the result we will use on activity result, and we can see some parameters like request code integer. This request code is same request code we have used to send we have used to redirect to the other activity, in our case the rc sign in, the same request code. And result code, there are different kind of result code like result activity result okay, or result cancel, or wrong result. And the data itself carries some intent value. Okay, now what we do one thing, this if our request code is rc sign in, because we want to make sure that the same request code has been using. So rc sign in, and inside it we will take the response var response equals the idp response dot from result intent the data. We will take the response. Now we will check another thing, that if result code equals result okay, there is a activity result okay, activity dot, there are many kinds of result. Actually we're interested in result okay. If the result is okay, we will get the then Firebase Auth, there is a class name Firebase Auth, it will, and we will get the result from the Firebase Auth class. So here is the var, we can say var user equals Firebase Auth dot get instance dot current user. So what this line do, if the result code is okay, and then the Firebase auth will be initiated using the get instance, and we will get the current user. Okay, now we can do one more thing. When I get the result, we want to actually start the activity of main activity. For this we can do that start activity and intent and there's a and this activity, and we will say send to main activity dot main activity and class.java. Okay, So when I get the result okay and get the user, we will simply redirect to main activity. Okay, now if anything happen otherwise, the result is not okay, then what I will do, then we will add some condition, the else if response null, response equals null, then we will simply return, and we will return okay, before return we will close the app. We will not return to the main active or anywhere else. We will finish and close, return. Okay, if we finish, we do not make the return. That was if I return, it will be unnecessary. Now if the response have some error, like response dot get error, I think there is a function response dot get error. What mistake I made? Response dot get error. Error. Okay. So the response might be now null, so we make it nullable. So response dot error, and I think it will be error code. There is error code equal to, if there is no internet, or if the internet lost in the way, so we'll get error codes dot no network. Then you can add some your logic here. I simply will return, and if any unknown error happens, we will show a toast message. So it will be if let me copy paste it. I do not need to write again and again all the time. And its response code is like anything unknown error, we will return, and before return we will show a toast message to the user, a toast dot make text, and it will be this context, and we'll simply show the error to the user. So response dot get error code, I'll make it toString, and get length short, and finally show. So let me recap the whole thing again. Okay, now one more thing, we need to call this to our onCreate method. Okay, so what we are doing here, first of all we are calling this function, and this function we will create a UI with the help of Auth UI, and do one more thing, start activity for result, and it will send back to the Firebase Auth with a signal, and when the activity result, the destination activity came back with a result, we will check the result, and if the result is okay, we will get the Firebase Auth will be instantiated, and we will get the current user from, and we will get all this information from the user, and if anything wrong happened, we will simply terminate this app. Now actually we are ready to check the project, so we can do one more thing for the user. We can take a log, so log dot d, and we will write user data, and simply if there we want to get the username only this time, so user dot, so we will say the display names. There are some properties: display name, email, phone number, provider ID, and many more. So we will simply take the username, display name. Oh, okay, we will make it a null set because it may be null, so we make it null set. Okay, and before run, one more thing, we will like to add we will like to test this code to our real device, because it is really tough to check everything, like everything in especially the login part in our emulator. So please run it in your physical device. Okay, so I give it a run. So we got an error, and basically it says, ignore the part of Facebook. Basically it says that it is saying that suggestion to add tools replace, and this we'll just copy it, tools replace value, just copy it, and we go to our manifest file and just paste it there, paste it inside the meta tag, the meta tag where the Facebook application ID is there. So inside the meta tag, okay, and Alt enter. Okay, now we will again run this project, and I think hopefully it will run. Well, one more thing, if I don't do that, actually our app will not be meaningful. So we go to the main activity.kt, and okay, first thing first, we will disable, we will just comment it out, and the entire function we will like to comment it out. You can either delete it also. Now okay, we will add the data binding first. So I'm a data binding lover. Okay, so binding, which is type of the, okay, I forgot to add data binding here first. So activity main, we go here and add the layout. By the way, if you don't know how data bind works, I have a full video tutorial, a playlist for data binding, and somewhere in my channel. Please find it and learn what is data binding. And because data binding is an excellent thing that gives releases that actually release our pressure to do writing the find view by id again and again, and it has many more features. Please learn it, and it will get, you will definitely get benefited. Okay, so we will copy it, just cut it, okay, and paste it inside layout, and go back to main activity, and it will be something like activity main binding, activity main binding, and binding equals data binding util dot set content view, and we need a context. This is the context. Okay, now okay, we will do one thing that okay, we'll take one more variable. So val auth, which will be okay, val auth, so it is Firebase auth dot get instance dot current user. Okay, we will basically check if this if it is null, because it will be the same thing will be initiated from login activity, and inside the main activity, if it is null, then we will send it back to the back to our login activity. So how can I do it? I can do it from here, that if auth equals null, then just simply start activity intent and this, and I will redirect to login activity. So login activity and class.java. Okay, and else I will show the username. So first I will need to, if there is a name or something like that, activity main, and I will say it to give it a little bigger text size will be maybe 24 sp, and I'll give it id equals id txt as for name. So else the text name will be text name dot text will be the auth, this is the auth dot display name. Okay, display name. Now we can simply run our app to here. So okay, this is our app, and I am showing it from my physical device. So if I press the sign in with Google, we can see that the login activity here, and if I press the sign in with Google here, and it's been signing in, taking some time, and I will sign in with my this account. And now it is showing the name of my account name. You can simply check it from, you go okay, I will show it later because as I am showing it from my device, and that's how it's working. Okay, one more thing I need to do to make this app more meaningful, to add a login button first. Okay, we will add a logout button. So I'll go to the main activity.xml file and go to the design section, make it a little bigger. And there is nothing, so I will take some tools dot text. So name is some given any name, Peter Allen. Okay, so that we can see it from our app or from our design. So I will simply add a button, normal button here, and the button, for this button I will add some constraint. The button will have constraint to the actually bottom, to the left and to the right, and I will give it some margin. For it will have 32 and it will have 16 in right and left, and in upper it will get 16. Okay, done. Now we will add this set button bt, okay, sorry, button logout and okay, and it will be wrap content. Okay, everything is done here, and text will be logout. Okay, and we go back to our main activity, and we will write some code for this set click listener. So I will write the set one click listener for the button, and to get button name was maybe button. Okay, I'll write inside the onCreate method. So button logout dot set on click listener, and it will be a lambda function. So inside it we will write auth UI. So the auth UI, our authentication provider, and get an instance and sign out, and we need the context this, and we also want to implement one of its method, like add on success listener. If the user can successfully logged out, we will show him a message that is toast dot make test this, and it will be you are successfully logged out, it will be toast dot length short, and it is so another thing I can do, and it is outside the onCreate method, that we will, if the user press back button when he is logged in, because we do not want to send him back to the login activity. That will be awkward. So I will use finish affinity. So to use the actually property of back button, we will override the on back press. So on back pressed, and if it on back pressed, I will just finish the affinity. So it will simply cause to finish this project, finish this app. Okay. Well, one thing I forgot to do is, because when the user click the set button logout button, I will redirect the user to login activity. So for this, start activity intent this, and we'll go to the login activity class.java. Okay, so next thing what I do, I will run this app to my physical device and see what happened. Okay, and I run it to my physical device. So I am running this app from my physical device, and if I sign in with, and now I am trying sign in with email, and write an email that Munir, and next give a name, say the name, give a password in case of 123456 and save. And it is showing the name of Ron and it is showing the logout, and if I press the logout button it will simply redirect me to the login activity. So this is the app. We can check one interesting thing that if I go to the authentication of our project and use the tabs user, and we get some user already using our app, that is this user, and we also logged in with email, that is a provider, and we also logged in with Facebook. So these are the user of our app. So this is the admin panel. We can see which user are using our app. And now we go back to Android Studio, and one thing is left to make our app prettier. So so we will go to the activity main XML, and here we will add some. We simply will go to the text, and here we will add the circular image view. And for the circular image view, we already added the library circle image. Okay, we'll add this circle image view, and it will be 100 dp height and 100 dp width and source. Okay, I need to do one thing. Okay, before adding the circle image, we need to add some drawables. So we will right click on the res folder and show in explorer, and go to the res and create a new folder called drawable no DPI drawable so no DPI and there I will copy paste some images. So I will give those image link to the video description. Please download the images from the link. So I'll copy paste here. As drawable no DPI, I'll copy paste here and go back to the Android Studio, and I will simply say the source will be profile pic. There's nice little profile pic you can see from the preview. And what else I can do, I will make it fit center, scale type equals fit center, and give it ID. The ID will be ID user image, and we can pretty much close it. Now as it is showing that it is constraint layout and we had to make the constraint, so we will go to the design section and drag it to here. We will add a constraint to the up, constraint to the right, constraint to the left, and constraint to the right, and also made a constraint with the name property actually, and we will add some margin 16, and we will have it right 8, and we simply drag this text name to here. Okay, all this constraint. Okay, now we will add some, we will make the make this make this username little more prettier. So the text size will be 20 sp. And what else we can do? Let me check. Okay, text. So we will change the text color to black, and text color equals the black 0000000, and we'll make it the center horizontal, the gravity center horizontal. By the way, you can do all those things from the design tab also. It is your choice whether you will use the design from the design tab or text tab. This is upon your choice. So one thing we can do, alternatively do another thing, we can first delete the text view and make another text. So we keep the same name here. So the name was maybe txt underscore name, and it is showing that Peter, so Peter, and okay, we will make a margin. So no, before taking margin, we will make the constraint. So the constraint will go to with the bottom of here, and the left side constraint and the right side constraint, and we will make some margin. So the top margin will be 8 or 16, and right margin is 16, this margin is 16, and this will be also 8. Okay, now the ID is the layout width will be match constraint, this is 0 dp, and we will search the gravity will be center horizontal, true. The text view, the gravity will be center, horizontal, it is not center, it is center horizontal. Okay, so it will come to the middle position, and also we will search the text size we will make it 20 sp. Okay, now it has constraint with left, right, and top. We will do not need that constraint. So if we want to delete any constraint, just press your control button and left click to this position. So press control button and left click here, and the control will go here. Now we will need to add the email, the phone number, this kind of field. So to do that, we will need the same style. So for this style, we can copy one thing. We'll make a style sheet. So style sheet. So we will left click here and refactor and extract a style. Refactor and extract a style. And we will take some style like the same thing: width, height, margin start, margin top, margin end, gravity, and text size all will be the same. Okay, we will give a name, that text box style. Okay, for a better check, we can go to the values and find styles, and we find the same text box style just we have created. And we can also manually edit here, like we can margin and we can add 10 dp. Okay, that could be done. Okay, now we'll go back to the main activity XML, and we will create two more text box, excuse me. Then we'll add here and give it a name. ID will be text email, and it will be, I don't know, we can give it some okay, email, and the text style, and the style will be, we will simply give it a style like style. We will click that right button, pick a source, and here we will give a search, the text box style we just have created, text box style, and double click here, text box style, and we will give a constraint, left constraint, right constraint, and it will constraint to the top. We'll keep it here and constraint with the top. Okay, now it will be okay, text box style. Well, we'll go here and see what happened to it. Email, wrap content. We do not use the wrap content anymore because in our style file we already have used it, so we do not need it right here. Okay, now we also will add phone number, the phone number here, sorry, the text box and text box, and simply add style, text box style, and drag it here, make it some constraint, and we do not need those wrap content thing, text and height thing, and we will make it a like phone number. Okay, now okay, main activity mail, what is the wrong, what wrong happened here? Okay, I'll give it start. Okay, now okay, we need to give it a ID, actually, the text view, and it will be text phone. So our basically design is done, and we can make this little text color will be white, and the design section we can make the background will be, make some background like looking for a red color. Okay, so that red color. Okay, basically we are done. Now we will take this image and change this image. To change this image, we need to add a dependency library. We will use the dependency library of Glide. So we will first go to the app.gradle and add the dependency for changing image. Okay, so inside the app.gradle folder, app.gradle file, we have the dependency for the Glide. So we'll copy these two lines and paste it and give a sync now. So now we will go to the main activity, and we will create a function for creating the UI, and we'll make the name fun create UI, and inside it we will do one thing, that we will change this. We'll take this here, and the text name is wanting the same thing. Okay, the same thing. Okay, we will cut it. We do not need this. We will delete it, and we will make this logic later. First we will create the create UI, and we will add we have auth. So if we check if the auth is null, not null, and we will add the let function here, and inside let we will change the UI, we will change this value. So text name dot text will be at auth dot display name, and text email dot text will be auth email, and text phone number dot text will be auth dot phone number. Okay, now we need to change the image also. So for getting the image, we will use the glide function here, and so it will be glide. So glide alternator glide dot width, and the view will be this actually this width is for glide, and here we will dot load the URI or string URL. So auth dot photo there is a photo URL. Okay, dot we will add the fit center, and we will also add the placeholder placeholder for the drawable. So r dot drawable dot actually this is the placeholder. This is the image placeholder image, and its name is profile pic. So it will be the placeholder dot profile pic, and finally into what will be the view. The view is itself here, the view name, the user image. Okay, so view is profile. So user, as we are using data binding, we need to do not need to write r dot find view by id by something. We do not need that, so we directly use user image. So what I need to do, so I need to call the fun create UI. So how I can do it? So I will write that if the okay, I need to first cut it, and I want to do if the auth not equal to null, then I will create the UI. Okay, create UI, and else then I will redirect to the login activity. So else I will redirect to the login activity. Okay, I think that is done. And what else we can do? We can one thing we have left, that actually if what happen, this will happen in on create. So same thing, that the same entire thing we will also call it from the on resume, because we don't know when the activity come back and forward. So this kind of situation we can use on resume to handle this entire thing. So on resume, inside the on resume we will copy paste the same thing for auth equals null create UI, and if not null create UI, and if it is null then start activity to login activity. Okay, so I will run this to my device and see what happened. Okay, one more thing, we can make the login UI little more what should I say, little more pretty or prettier. How can I do it? First I will add the style. Add the style. So we will go to the styles and make a style of login UI. So make another style and make it give the name login UI style, login UI style, and its parent will be parent. I'm inheriting the no action bar, so so it will be no action. Okay, app compat theme app compat no action bar, because I do not want to add any action bar there, and I will give it a window background. I will give it a background image. So the item, I will give it item, and it will be window background. What is that? Window background. There should be window background. Okay, I found it. Window background, and it will be drawable. Inside a drawable, we already have login background, and this is here login background. This I want to use as a login background, so I have written it. So, and we will add the style to our login activity. So okay, we will go back to our login activity, and inside the start activity for result we will add the style. Okay, so we will set theme dot set theme, and it will be r dot that style. Okay, that style we have just created, style dot r dot style dot, we'll name it maybe login UI style, and we will also add a add this image as add this image as a logo. So set, we have set logo option, set logo, and it will be r dot drawable dot auth logo. Okay, now you can run this app to my physical device and see what happened. Well, unfortunately we got an exception, and we go to the logcat and see what happened. So we go and see this is fatal exception main, and it's saying that binary XML line, it's a circle image, it is not working properly, or there is an error. So we go to the main activity XML, the circle image view, and for some strange reason it is not working. So we go and dig down, and here is the on create, and yes, caused by something scale type fit center not supported. So scale type fit center is not supported. Okay, then I will remove it, I don't need it, and I will give the build run. I will run the app again, and let's see what happened. I am running the app from my device, and see we can see the login background has been changed, and we are see a little logo on the bottom of the login screen. Now we can simply do a login with Google, and I will log in with this Google account and see what happened there. And the profile pic or the image has been user image has been changed, the name, and we can now see the email. We can log out, and I can do one more thing. I will check with the sign in with phone. So one more thing, you should you should never be too much concerned about sign in with phone, because sign in with phone sometimes take 24 hours to active, and depending on your region. So I am living in a third world country, so it may take some much time to active, but it will work, definitely work. So let me check whether it is working or not. So I am clicking here and give my number and verify my phone number, check and wait for the SMS. Yes, the SMS come, and already SMS grant automatically. Here I can copy the code, and for some unfortunate reason it didn't work. Okay, I will try again. 1912188731. Okay, the phone number automatically verified, and then we got an exception. Okay, let me check what happened. Okay, and we got the logcat, and take down, go there, and it's saying fatal exception, failure delivery result, info something something to activity, login activity, println need a message. Okay, null point exception, println need a message. So what is the error? Caused by Java lang null point exception, println needs a message. Okay, and it happened in that line on activity result, login activity. We click there. Oh, okay. As you know, when I log in with the phone number, there is no display name, and it is getting exception. So I actually don't need this. I just simply delete it here, because we are showing nothing in login activity. Everything is showing in main activity, so I do not need this. And I give a build again, and let's see whether it is working fine or not. So I have checked that phone authentication is working fine. I'm not showing it here because the video has already been very long, and you can go to the Firebase console and give a refresh and see. We have logged in with my phone number already, and all those Facebook, Google, and email and phone number we have logged in. So what is the output of this tutorial is actually we have learned very easily that how to add all this social login, including Google, email, Facebook, and even phone verification in our Firebase application. And we will in upcoming tutorials we will do much things, many more things like database, storage, function, and cloud messaging. So please stay connected and give a like if you like this video, and share if you feel it is helpful. It will be helpful for others. And I'm signing off. Good night.